Welcome back, everybody, to Power Word Crit. My name is Corin, and I am your Dungeon Master today. With me, we have some beautiful people. They are...
Kayla with Celestine Peachchild.
I'm Ander, and I'm playing Wesley.
I'm Ashlyn, and I'm playing Isidore Welkenmov, but please call her Izzy.
Unless you're Lord Pride.
Of course.
I'm David, and I am playing Lord Usarker von Pride.
Last time, the ladies met some interesting orc scouts named Yreg, Duraka, and Ulalarg. After some getting to know yous, Yreg offered the ladies to stay the night in their camp in exchange for some medical supplies. Arriving at the camp, Celestine helped a half-orc shaman named Batula hold down a patient who was suffering from some unknown neurotoxin. After the danger had passed, Batula threw some spices on the meat and everyone started eating. While this was happening, Izzy met Korgok the Bright, the leader of the clan. After offering him a piece of jewelry that his wife would have loved, she was surrounded by the clan and managed to make a pretty penny selling her wares. As the two were heading to bed, Batula asked to speak with Izzy privately, to which she revealed that Izzy's ghost problem was really a byproduct of a god stepping out of their domain. Izzy now constantly has access to alternate realities of herself, also known as echoes. The next day, Yreg, Duraka, and Ulalarg pulled the horseless cart towards Berdusk, and that's where we meet our other half of this party, but backwards in time to the previous day. You guys see the guard tower up in the distance. It's about 100 feet away, and the rain is starting to dissipate a little bit. Let's do a lore drop of what Berdusk is. Just a little history for our listeners. Berdusk used to be part of what is known today as the Old Kingdom, which originally encompassed 5 major cities: Elturel, Triel, Scornabel, Sobar, and Berdusk. Today, these 5 cities are major players in what is now known as the Kingdom of Elturgard. It is a large city of about 15,000 to 20,000 people, and is the place to go if you want to learn a trade or study the arts. Many famous tradesmen, artists, and bards study here, and the city arguably has the best cuisine in the Sorkos region. About 50 years ago, the city outgrew its walls. Instead of tearing it down, Berdusk decided to build around it. The city is essentially broken up into 2 major regions: the inner wall, which houses many noble families, government workers, temples, and higher-end shops, and the outer wall, which houses most of the population, the artisan district, and most manufacturing. There are many districts broken up within these 2 areas, but you guys can get a map of the city pretty easily of all these little sections. You guys are approaching a guard tower on the road for what is known as the outer wall.
So there is no wall yet, though.
Correct. It's more like a stepping stone fence.
Excellent.
Is it maybe the remnants of a long wall?
Sure.
Have you ever been to Berdusk before?
Never. It was not on my route.
So I have. I spent many glorious days of my youth.
Still young.
Right. 18, newly minted.
It's practically an old man, right?
Yeah, serious. Spent many days of my youth here, playing in the inns, and I tell you what, they have some of the best street food here. So, as soon as we go by the magistrate and take care of, all that stuff, I gotta take you on a tour around some of those things.
If it's anything like the street food of Baldur's Gate, which I've heard was supposedly quite good, I might pass. But we shall see.
Fair enough.
All right, so you guys hit the guard tower. There is somebody standing there, and she waves at you to come over. She says, "State your business."
Is it your custom to accost travelers on the road? We have urgent business with the High Magistrate.
Of course you do. Do you have written documentation of this?
We
just
do.
so happen to do, yes. And I pull out said document with showing off the seal of Greenest.
Yeah, you also have a pin that...
Oh, yeah.
That has the...
Shiny pin.
Did
Yeah.
I give that to you? Because I know that there's a... Oh, he probably has the base document. I have the rest of the packet of information.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. Never mind.
Yeah.
She looks you guys over. Leave your horses there. Come on in. It's drizzly.
This is in Berdusk.
This is
This
like
is the guard tower outside of Berdusk.
This is a guard tower.
You want us to leave our
outpost.
horses outside the city?
No. She's just saying leave your horses so you can come inside. The little guard area.
Oh, okay. That
The little
makes sense.
hubbub.
Okay, I understand.
Come in with me. What do you do?
I'm going to do some insight here to see
Okay.
if this is a shakedown or something,
Go for it.
things like that. 12.
She just wants you to come outside of the
Okay.
rain so she can get a better look at you, you think?
That's fair. Okay.
Very
Get off
well.
Nutmeg and let's stop in here.
Okay, so
So
you
go
guys
inside. Yeah.
You guys walk inside, and immediately a halfling man standing next to you casts some magic on you guys, and you are immediately dry. So you
Okay.
don't. And he looks at you and
I
goes,
got worried there for a second.
Yeah, I'm worried enough about that I turn to the halfling man as I feel myself drying, and I pause for a moment, and then I say, never use magic on someone without their permission.
Noted. And he just walks away.
Yeah. Some people.
Come with me. And she leads you guys into another room, and she says, so you, what business do you have with the High Magistrate?
We come from Greenest. A terrible thing has happened there.
Don't say too much. It's not for her to hear.
This is very, very wise of my companion here. But we do ask assistance from the magistrate.
May I see the seal?
Of course.
You don't have to hand it to me. I just need to see the seal.
Proffer for examination.
Okay. And she pulls up this book and she starts flipping through it. And it has like all these pictures of different types of seals.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
fair.
she's just trying to verify. Okay, yeah, this looks like Greenest. Okay. And you said this is for help for aid.
Correct.
Were you a part of the attacks? Perchance?
I take it there have been more attacks reported.
Oh, yes. Yes, there have. You are not the first town to seek our aid. I assume this is what this is for. Do you need relief? Do you need
Yes.
healing? What?
I don't see how it is within your jurisdiction, soldier, to do so and provide us any information on this.
Well, before I let you go to the High Magistrate, I need to make sure that I give the proper information to make sure that you get sent to the right person who can lead you to the High Magistrate.
Usarker, I understand your sentiments of wanting to be tight-lipped about things, but I think that this is reasonable to give this information. This is the reason for our quest. I think that this kind soldier is here to assist us and to move us along quickly rather than keeping us out here on the wall. Yes, we are asking for aid. Out of character, I don't remember what aid we're looking for.
Military,
Military aid.
we want to inform people that this has gone on so that a
Mhm.
military response can be made to this cult, which has apparently struck multiple places, as we knew it had.
So yeah, we seek military aid, seek help in rebuilding the city. Greenest was fairly well destroyed.
Oh dear. Let me contact my superiors, and I will see if I can get you guys on the road right to where you need to go. Sound good?
Thank you.
Thank you. And she walks into another room.
How big is this guard post?
It's like 3 stories.
Let me contact my superiors.
Yeah, it's about 3 stories tall.
Let me go talk to my manager.
Yeah, and you guys walked into like a little entryway. You see a few offices in the back, and then there's like a little another entryway that she had led you in to look at the seals. And you also see that there's like what would be a fantasy equivalent of a break room on the bottom floor, but then you also see stairs that go up.
Okay.
So she goes through the fantasy break room, just the break room.
You have a nice fantasy break room here.
Thank you. We just finally got a Ray of Frost machine to make us some iced cappuccinos.
Frost machine.
Oh gosh.
Yes. She motions something to somebody in one of the offices, and they come out and watch you guys while she goes upstairs. A few minutes pass, and she comes back down and she says, all right, I contacted my superior. If you go to the south guard post on the inner wall, my superior will be there and will lead you to the High Magistrate's area.
Okay. And your superior, just so I have the name so that we know who I'm supposed to talk to and don't end up.
My superior's name is Raduriel.
Raduriel.
Radeueriel.
Thank you. That's most helpful.
Captain Raduriel.
Captain Raduriel.
You're very welcome. I apologize if I seemed a little crass. We've had quite the many people coming here for refuge, so we've had to stop and ask literally everyone why they're coming.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we know where to direct them.
Thank you for your assistance, soldier. And we move
You're
on.
very welcome.
Getting back on the horses.
You guys follow the street to the south, and then it starts curving and going north and then to the east. Wesley, you've been here multiple times, so
yeah.
you know where you're going roughly.
I'm like pointing stuff out to Usarker, like, oh, that's where I did this, this event, and that's where we got into a lot of trouble.
Are we entering in through the western gate on the District of Sharp Teeth?
Yes.
Okay.
After about 20 minutes of horse trotting, by the way, your horses have a point of exhaustion for all the effort that they had to go through.
Good.
So just
horsey.
remember that. You end up crossing a bridge that goes over the river in the middle of town, and you end up at a guard post. And you see a very, very short man who seems to be looking around trying to find something.
And at this point, there are lots of people around us, right?
Right. This one is in the uniform of the city guard.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is this a guard?
Yes.
Is there any reason we actually need to talk to this person, or do you know how to get to the town hall by yourself?
I mean, I think that I could, but I think going through the proper chain of command is going to speed us along a little bit.
All that it's done so far is slow us down. It's your familiarity with the city, though, so
Captain
I will follow your lead.
Radriel?
Yes.
I don't remember what her name was.
Are you the ones I'm supposed to be taking?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Captain Raduriel, and I will be sorry.
Okay.
I had some bad fruit.
Mm.
I will be taking you to City Hall. We ask that you leave your horses here. Horses are not allowed on the inner wall area, and we will take good care of them. But I need you to follow me if you would like to meet the High Magistrate.
I'm going to look over at Wesley for confirmation that this is something he's heard of before.
This is something I've heard of?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. This is normal. They don't like horses in there. Trying to keep cobbles clean and all that good things. Whether that's actually what it is or not, it's just what Wesley is spouting off the top of his head.
It's the poop.
Uh-huh.
I don't doubt it.
I'm sorry. What are your guys' names again? I didn't write that down. I should have done that.
That's okay. I am Wesley Eldridge of Greenest.
Wesley Eldridge?
My parents are owners of the Eldridge Exchange. We have connections that come through here every once in a while.
Okay. And you are?
I am Lord Usarker von Pride from Baldur's Gate. Please, let us hurry on. This is urgent.
He gives a pause. Lord Usarker von Pride, nice to meet you. And writes down your name. If you follow me, I will lead you to them. You guys pass by some very beautiful shops with overly elegant dresses, silverware, anything you can think of. And you pass what look to be very, very beautiful houses. But some of them are in disrepair. Some of them are very well kept, some are in disrepair, some look like they have been abandoned for years. As you guys pass these, he goes, and this down here is where we have our wood shop guild, and they are very, very wonderful. And I'm sorry, I've been rambling. We're here. And as you guys look forward, there is a building. It's a square building with a round top. And the top, it looks like stained glass. but it's colors of like peach and purples and pinks. It's very, very beautiful on the top. And he goes, the guard of High Magistrate Liamas will be with you shortly. Please wait here, and I will go there. And he just like scurries away.
Friendly sort.
Surely. Is there anywhere inside this building that looks like it would be fine to step into?
Yeah, the front doors are open, and you see there's like waiting chairs.
That would be reasonable to go in there.
Given that it's probably still drizzling or something.
Yeah, it's the rain has started to calm down a little bit, and at this point, you're starting to see the clouds disperse, and you see stars coming out. At this point, it's probably around 9 p.m.
Okay.
You see torches lit on the inside. You guys are welcome to walk into that little entryway.
Yeah, I'm doing so.
You wait a few minutes, and you hear boom, 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 boom coming down the hallway.
Gonna crane my neck down the hallway.
It's getting louder and louder and louder. And around the corner, a very, very tall Goliath steps around. And he raises his head, sizes you guys up. Are you here for the High Magistrate?
We are.
Yes, I hold up my missive from Greenest.
I see we
Proffering
found the
the seal.
bouncer.
That will do. Follow me. And as he turns around, you guys see on his face, this gigantic face.
He has a face on his face?
He has a face on his face. It's a double face.
He has a
He's an
peculiar
N.
growth.
Peculiar growth of the Voldemort kind. You see, he's very, very gruff, very no-nonsense looking guy. But on his face, you see what appears to be a birthmark in a shape of a bunny that looks like it's on its hind legs on its side and like reaching for something. This birthmark is the cutest thing you've ever seen.
Sign of the rabbit, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
He leads you into another room, and sitting there is an elf with very, very long, whitish blonde hair, blue eyes, and they are writing on some papers. They look up and they say, "Oh, nice to meet all of you. Are you here from Greenest?"
Yes. Are you the High Magistrate?
I am. I apologize. My name is High Magistrate Adrason Liamas.
Very well met. I am Wesley Eldridge of Greenest. I come from Governor Nighthill. He has sent us to call for aid. We have recently I proffer the missive to the High Magistrate. We have recently been besieged and raided by a group known as the Dragon Cult.
Oh. Well then, that gives us a little bit more information. We have had 3 other towns come to ask for our aid, but they did not know who was behind the attack. What was this cult looking for? Do you know?
They took everything of value from the city.
Thank you for that information. The other towns were very, very small, and they had no idea who was behind this. But if you suspect you said Dragon Cult?
Yes, that seemed to be very clear. We were able to capture a couple lower ranking members and were able to interrogate them and find out some information, as well as conversing from atop our wall to a leader of sorts there, Madame Mondoth.
Mondoth. I do not know that name. They take the letter from you and open it up and start reading through it. I see. We unfortunately are very strapped for troops. We have already sent out many troops. However, we might be able to send out 60 of our troops, and I will contact the temple heads for any help if they have any help that they can give.
Thank you. Any assistance is greatly appreciated.
You're welcome. I wish to discuss this further, but it is very late. Would it be possible to meet with you tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah. I don't see why not. Yeah.
Perfect. How does noon sound?
That'll work.
Hi, Magistrate. Is this something that we can expect Eltergard to respond to and to clear up? There were a fair number, I would dare say a small army of cultists that attacked Greenest, and I can only imagine the full size and scale of the problem if many other locations and towns were attacked as well. Are we to expect that Eltergard will respond to this as a nation, or have things thus far been limited to only the resources locally available to Berdusk?
We have been in contact with Triel and Scornabel. They seem to have also run into this issue. And we have not heard of Elturel being hit, and we have not heard Sobar being hit by these cultists that you say. However, I am concerned because usually when large attacks happens, we are able to see movement, but we have not had any influx of people coming through our towns, or neither has Triel and Scornabel. And so we are reaching out to Baldur's Gate and other cities to see if they have had any strange uptake in people moving.
So out of character, those other cities that you mentioned, generally like cardinal direction, like are they east, west, north, south?
Berdusk is the most south.
Okay.
So it goes Berdusk, and then Trio, Skirnabel, Sobar in this general area.
So they are northern.
They are northern.
Yeah.
And then Elturel is northwest.
Okay.
So.
Very well. Tomorrow at noon then. All right, let's go find an inn.
Yes. Thank you, Magistrate.
We could put you up if you needed, unless you have somewhere.
That would be very wonderful. We have had long, hard ride through the rains you saw. The roads are less than easy during these times.
I can tell by your muddy shoes.
Yes, we'd be happy to stay here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sanjay, would you please lead these fine gentlemen to the effervescent flute? And the very tall, buff Goliath says, "Yes, High Magistrate, I will do this. Please follow me, and I will lead you."
Following.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go, I would like to formally apologize that Berdusk did not know that this was coming. We should have seen something. I feel it is my fault, because these are our surrounding towns, and we try to take care of them as much as we can, but we did not, and I extend my apologies to you and to Greenest.
On behalf of Greenest, I thank you for your apology.
Both of you go ahead and make an insight check on this person.
Sure. 15.
I got a 18.
Okay, with a 15 and an 18, well, with a 15, you both notice that this elf is very, very old. The hair is starting to turn white, and they look exhausted. With an 18, you can tell that they maybe know a little bit more than they're letting on. However, you did catch them off guard with saying this was the Cult of the Dragon. They did not know that information. And they truly look devastated that this happened and they weren't able to figure this out before their surrounding towns got hit.
Yeah. I think as we're walking out and around, Wesley turns to Usarker and is like, I think it's a little strange that nobody saw these armies moving around.
Out of character, what languages does your character speak?
I have Common, Dwarvish, and Draconic.
So you start saying that, and I'm going to respond in Dwarven, and I'm going to say, our guide is the right hand of Magistrate. Perhaps we should talk privately.
Yeah.
And we can continue in Dwarvish if you'd like. I don't know what languages the Goliath speaks, but...
The Goliath is just looking straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't turn around. He looks very dedicated to getting you to the effervescent flute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We can wait until we're settled in.
All right.
And the Effervescent Flute is just a couple blocks down. It's a very nice, well-kept inn that looks to cater more towards higher-end clientele.
Mm-hmm.
And the Goliath says, "Here you go. This is the Effervescent Flute. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
your patronage." And he kind of looks up and he thinks for a second. He goes, "I don't think that's right, but thank you."
No, that is not the right word. However, we appreciate the effort anyways, good sir.
He bows.
Return the bow. And just to be clear, you said that, but letting us stay there, are we having to pay?
No payment necessary. This is on the town.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
a
you.
delegate. Delegate?
Delegate, yes, you got it.
Delegate
Yes.
of Greenest.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can tell he's having trouble coming up with the words. Common might not be his
Yeah, he's
preferred
translating.
language. He's trying
That
to
makes
translate.
sense. Yeah.
But thank you. And we hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you. Yes.
Good day. And you see him walking away, and there's a little girl outside holding up a donut to him. And he smiles very, very wide, gives her a gold piece for the donut, and just shoves it in his mouth and just kind of happily skips away.
Like I say, great street food.
If the street food costs a gold, I might not be able to afford it. What was this man's name, by the way?
Sanjay. You
Sanjay.
only know this guy as Sanjay.
Please spell that.
Sanjay.
I'm going to sign in, check in to this inn.
Okay. The lady behind the desk says, "Oh, welcome to our lovely establishment. My name is Annabelle Layton. How may I help you today?"
We are visiting delegates from Greenest.
"Oh, yes, you are Usarker and Wesley, right?"
Yes, word travels fast.
Yes, we received a message from the High Magistrate. We have 2 rooms ready for you. And this woman has brown hair. She's a halfling, and she's kind of small for as halflings go. And would you care for dinner? We have quite the selection tonight. Have you already eaten, or would you like anything brought to your room?
I think that a dinner would be quite appropriate. We've had many days hard travel. I think that some good wine, good food, whatever is the specialty of the night.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yep, absolutely.
We will get you our finest wine shortly. If you would wait. We are a little behind, but I promise that the wine will be there within about 10 or 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Here are keys to your rooms, and they are numbers 12 and 13 upstairs.
Taking our stuff upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you guys are alone.
All right. Now, what were you saying?
Oh, I found it very strange that, as the magistrate said, that no one had noticed the traveling of such a large group. I find it kind of odd.
So, there's a lot we don't know about this cult. They seem to have extensive numbers. They have dragons at their disposal. But, given the fact that it's called a cult, would lead me to believe that they tend to be more locally based. And that the troops and soldiers we are seeing are likely fanatics, mercenaries, and the like, drawn from the region in which they were pulled. Now, how they have become so extensive without people knowing about it, I don't know. Perhaps here in Berdusk, the Cult of the Dragon has a sterling reputation with thousands of followers.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I don't remember that from being here before, but yeah, things change.
Mm-hmm. I am hoping that in visiting a library and looking at recorded information, newspapers, books, and the like, it will uncover something about the nature of this. It is also possible that something arcane is involved
Mm-hmm.
If they can ally with a dragon, there's no reason to suspect that they cannot also ally with a mage or other powerful spellcaster.
Yeah, so they might be moving around and by arcane means and incredible things.
Precisely. We simply don't know at this point.
At that moment, you hear a knock on the door. We have your wine.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is a maid. She hands over a giant turkey. It's just a whole roasted turkey with potatoes
Wow.
and greens, and there's like a whole pie for dessert. Is there anything else that you guys would like?
Is there a cleaning service?
Oh, yes. Just let us know. There's a bell that you can ring in your room, and if you need anything, please just ring the bell.
Thank you.
I believe that we might wish to avail ourselves of some limited form of cleaning as long as it can be done by the morning.
Yes, we can do that. We can express rush that for you.
Since we are having a meeting with the High Magistrate again, it would behoove us to look like we at least somewhat belong.
Her eyes go wide. The High Magistrate? What are they like? Have you met them before?
They seemed professional.
As a High Magistrate should. I apologize. I will leave you to your stuff now. And she bows and she walks out of the room.
A listening ear around every corner.
Mm-hmm. I don't have anything else that I want to do tonight.
Von Pride is taking advantage of the fact that this is a time to relax a little bit. He, finds a nice corner, with some darkness. Because is it late now? Or is it? I'm having trouble
We
with the
started
time
at
today.
9.
Yeah, you got to the High Magistrate around 9 p.m.
So
At this point, it's probably 10:30.
So, I have, in that case, I have the, a candle with, that I'm, working by, and I'm writing in my book and watching out the window at, the crowds and street and everything else going by, just kind of relaxing while I slowly sip the wine before going to sleep.
Okay, go ahead and do a perception check really quick, because these windows, you can open them so you can hear out as well. And they're actually not that thick, so you can actually hear things anyway.
6.
Okay. You just hear normal people chatter, nothing too crazy. Nothing that screams, I'm a cultist, I'm going to kill someone. And,
Oh, good. It's going to be us.
And you guys fall asleep. You guys wake up to the sound of the crow. You guys wake up to the sound of the crow.
Great
The
spirit,
rooster?
you've returned.
You
Is there
guys
a
wake
crow
up
in
to the
window?
sounds of bird twittering in the trees.
Oh, the great spirit had returned.
Usurker, you wake up and there is a crow on your windowsill. It looks at you and then flutters away.
And not even a nevermore for us.
Mm-hmm.
Must
No!
not be
Next
your
time.
spirit. Well, I assume our clothes have been cleaned?
They have.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
They're neatly folded outside your door.
I would suggest steel yourself. Think upon what we wish to tell the High Magistrate and how we wish to tell them. Today is your day to shine.
Yep.
I, meanwhile, am going to set about going back and seeing if I can get our companions out of the mud.
Are you leaving Wesley by himself?
Should I not leave Wesley by himself?
I got it.
Okay,
Wesley can just dragon breath everybody with his indigestion.
it's true.
Oh dear.
But does Wesley know everything that happened? He wasn't there for everything, so does he know everything that happened?
So hopefully it's early morning and I am going to get you guys into town before, the meeting.
That's fair.
But if not, he will be here.
Okay.
Okay. So you head on off.
Yes.
All right. So Usurker, your horses were put in the stables and treated very well, given lots of oats and apples, and they were very happy. Which one are you taking? The brown one or the black one?
The black one, please.
New Blackie, you got it. New Blackie looks at you, neighs, and then just resigns itself to
Like,
possibly trudging again in the rain.
I think New Blackie still needs more rest.
It's all right. This is how we work. I'm going to ride the black horse, and then of course we have the other horse set up as well because we need both horses to pull the wagon.
Oh yeah.
So you're taking both of them.
I will need both of them.
All right. Nutmeg also gives you the same look, but goes along. They're very good trained horses.
Looking at the road last night, did it look like the wagon would sink and get stuck? And I might need to, pick up some, laborers or something to get it out? Or did it look like I shouldn't have any problem and as soon as everything is finished, it will be able to move easily?
So it looks like that the road would have had just enormous potholes and some parts would have just been too muddy. This morning, though, it looks a lot more traversable. It looks a lot more stable. And if you waited a few hours for the muddy parts to solidify a little bit, it should be fine.
Okay. All right, so I won't bother picking anybody up as I go. All right, I head out.
Okay. You managed to make it about 1.5 miles outside of town when you see a group of 3 orcs pulling a wagon.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I'm on a horse. I ready my polearm as these orcs come up because I assume that most places I've ever been, orcs are violent raiders who tend to murder people on the street, on the roads. Is that a fair assumption?
That is a fair assumption.
All right, so, cautiously, since, it looks like they are doing something weird and
not immediately brandishing weapons.
Right, and not trying to ambush you or anything like that, but definitely in a wary sort of on guard state, kind of slowly going to move towards them as they move towards me on the road.
Okay, you get about, like I said, about 1/2 mile away. You see them. They stop pulling the cart. There seems to be some sort of exchange. They wave and then just leave the wagon there.
Bye, Ulalarg. It was so great to meet you.
Oh, Lord Usurker.
Will wonders never cease? Looks like you all made some friends.
Yes, they were very nice orcs who helped take the wagon carriage
Yes.
Good.
here.
Good. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting too many sociable orcs in their own environments.
Oh, you missed an evening then. They're very sociable.
Yes, I sold most of my inventory. And Izzy gestures to her waist.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Izzy and I need to go shopping
You look
later.
downright threadbare, Izzy. We will have to give you an opportunity to replenish.
Yes, I don't jingle as much as I'd like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you jingle in other ways, right? All that money.
Yes, that's true.
I am glad to see
Money
that
to
you
buy
are
more
all...
materials.
Yes.
I'm glad to see that you are all well taken care of and looking like you've had a fantastic time. I have the horses. We can get everything set up. Wesley is in the effervescent flute, and he is preparing for the meeting with the High Magistrate.
Okay, then.
I'm going to catch them up on everything as we get everything set up and then start moving again.
All right, that's easy enough to do. Wesley, what are you doing? Usurker has left you to go pick up your comrades.
I'm getting breakfast because that's important.
Are you eating in your room? Or are you eating downstairs?
Probably in the common area.
Okay. As
If
you're
there is
sitting in the common area, you see a group of people sitting in the corner, and they're talking in hushed tones.
I would like to examine said people.
Okay.
Do they look like they are travelers from out of town? Or do they look like they're locals?
They look like the stereotypical grandmas at a knitting club, just spreading gossip. Like they're out for breakfast,
Your spider sense needs
for
tuning.
tea, and they're talking in hushed tones, and you hear the words "scandal" and "gone missing."
Oh, that's interesting. It's usually rude to just barge up to people and like, what was that you just said in hushed tones? But
If you find a table and happen to sit next to them, then it's a little more natural and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, what?
Many
Sure.
old ladies like company. and somebody to listen to or who will listen to them.
Are these a bunch of old ladies?
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
the knitting club, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Like,
There's a
yeah.
couple gentlemen as well
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aha.
with knitting needles in their hands.
They're the only ones like around, kind of thing, or
The only ones that are actively discussing. There's another guy sitting in the corner. He's human with gray hair, and he looks very, very old, and he's sipping on a cup and looking like he's just about to fall asleep.
oh, poor guy. Well, I'm gonna take my breakfast over and casually. Could I perhaps join you? I'm traveling alone from Greenest and seem to. I feel lonely this morning and would appreciate some company.
One of the ladies looks at you and says, "I'll take a handsome, strapping young man like you. Come sit next to me."
Oh yes, thank you.
Cougars.
Wesley's heart is secure.
But they might have money.
Oh, no,
That's true.
but true.
What is
love.
your name?
Gosh.
Oh, my name is Wesley.
That's such a wonderful name. And she puts her hands on her chin and just stares at you. How old are you?
I'm just 18.
Oh, are you just starting out?
Well, I've been here been in Berdusk before, traveling around doing minstrel things, but I'm on an official business.
Oh, okay. I can tell because you look very official.
Yes, thank you.
What brings you to Berdusk itself?
So, in light of Usarker's comments and feelings last night, I think that Wesley's not going to be incredibly open. Just official business from Greenest. Speaking with the magistrate, because they could figure out that much from talking to the owner.
Oh, by the way, you
But-
remind me of my grandson.
Oh yes.
He also has joined politics, and I was just wondering if you were maybe looking into Lord Faradin as well.
You know, I have not had the pleasure of meeting Lord Faradin.
Oh, you
And
may
he is your
not
grandson?
have. No. Lord
Okay.
Faradin, Lord Faradin is Lord Faradin. He, well, my grandson has been investigating him because he was involved in a scandal.
Scandal?
Yes.
Here in Berdusk?
Oh, scandals abound here. If you're from Greenest, I can understand, but I can't believe that they would bring somebody outside of Berdusk. Well, I guess I can to investigate this. There's some things that just happen here.
Well, do tell. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name is Mina.
Oh, yes, Mina.
And a couple of the ladies giggle, and a man kind of giggles with them. They're talking off to the side.
The dangers of high charisma.
Yeah. Well, do tell me, Mina. What is this scandal? What's going on with Lord Faradin?
Well, I'm sure you know most of it since, again, you don't have to tell me. I assume you're here investigating, but I heard from my second cousin twice removed that Lord Faradin was involved in another scandal and had disappeared.
Another scandal?
Yeah, this one? Well, the previous one, we all know that he was part of it, but somehow he convinced everybody else that he wasn't.
Of course.
And
those politicians.
yes.
Ugh.
I heard that he was dealing in illegal trades of magical artifacts to and from Baldur's Gate, and that he had angered some of his contacts because of this, because he was stealing from them.
Ooh.
But I assume since you're here, you're with the High Magistrate, you're already looking into this, right? Have you heard any more about this?
I can neither confirm nor deny any such information regarding Lord Faradin or the investigation thereof.
Do you say it with a wink?
Wink.
I heard he disappeared about a month ago. But rumor has it that he has been traveling town to town with these stolen artifacts.
What kind of stolen artifacts?
Anything you can think of, my dear. Magical ones, unmagical ones,
Hmm.
weapons, I bet. Oh, I bet there's magical weapons in there.
Of course, absolutely. What else has been going on?
Well, I've also heard that maybe some towns have been attacked, but I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I think I heard that too. There's been some really awful people going around. I mean, outside of Lord Ferrodin, of course.
Oh.
But I think I heard some things coming in that various towns have been raided, been ransacked.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Mm-hmm. It's like an army out there.
Whoa. That's news to me. And you hear the others go.
Like whisper. Excited whispers.
Yeah. I am so glad that we live here in such a safe town, especially inside the gate. Outside of the gate, oh my goodness. I don't know how I could ever live in such conditions. I don't think you've ever experienced that. And I haven't either, but I pray that Lathander will bless them and be with them because they need all the help that they can get. We have a knitting club. I was wondering, would you like to join? We love anything knitting, crocheting, and especially the gossip. And we have wonderful tea and biscuits.
Well, you had me at needles. I would love to join your knitting group. I may not be in town for very long.
That's okay,
Official
dear.
Business and all that. You know how it is.
Of
Wink,
course.
wink.
Oh, I understand.
And I do have a meeting this afternoon. But where do you meet here for your knitting group?
We do. We meet here on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay.
And usually between the times of 9 and 12. And we're working on something super special. Do you want to know what it is?
Oh, of course.
Well, Lady Tina is having a baby. Now, nobody else knows, but we're going to crochet her baby a wonderful tapestry that she can put on the baby's wall.
Oh, how sweet. That is very kind of you all.
Oh, we think so too. She'll just love it, but again, she doesn't know.
Of course. Lips sealed.
Great. Well, I know you have official business to do, but if you want to come tomorrow, we're going to work on it. We're about halfway done.
Okay.
And it's a mural of a baby being held up by the light and arms of angels.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you for inviting me, Mina. This has been a wonderful, very comforting visit and breakfast. You all have been so very kind to me. I look forward to seeing you again.
And us as well. Have a good day. And if you hear anything about Lord Ferrodin, we promise we won't tell anybody. We just
course.
really want to know what happened to him.
No one will ever know, except everybody in this group.
Right.
And everybody in this group knows.
And watch, Tina does find out that they're making this for her baby, and they're going to think that it was Wesley who told Jess.
Your
No, she's
name
just
will
gonna
be
feed-
mud in the
She's
city.
gonna feed information back. That's why it's the angels, because obviously Tina heard and started feeding information back of what she actually wanted.
There you go.
So yeah, Wesley, you have learned that a Lord Ferrodin is involved in another scandal and is dealing with illegal trades of magical artifacts to and from Baldur's Gate. And the rumor is that he has angered some of his contacts because of this, because he's either been stealing from them or for them and haven't been delivering something along those lines.
I'm still amazed anything could be a secret with this group.
I think that's the point. They're not.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my bet.
I think that Wesley probably, he wanders around just a little bit. Some of the other taverns nearby.
Usarker, Izzy, and Celestine, you managed to make it to the Effervescent Flute
Excellent.
in record time, 30 minutes or so. And you guys, I assume, all meet up at some point.
What do we have time to clean?
Yes.
All right, then I am going to encourage everybody to bathe with soap before we have our meeting with the High Magistrate.
Yes, I desperately need it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very muddy night.
It was very muddy. Very wet.
Yep.
Especially after Whiskers tore the side of the wagon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to... man, we have to fix that.
You have mending.
No, I don't.
Oh no.
I don't have... I have mending skills.
Oh,
I don't have mending.
Got it.
She has her own mundane abilities and not the magical kind.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Which... I have put my black habit back on, and you can no longer see the emblem of my order on my armor.
Okay. You all meet up. You're all spick and span, clean with some Irish Spring, and
Or the D&D equivalent thereof.
yes, you smell great, and you are very presentable.
To be
The knitting
clean.
group is still there, looking at your group,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of eyeing everybody out and
I
Whispering.
waved to them.
hi, dear.
What is this?
Official
Have
bit.
fun with your official business.
Wesley, did you make some friends?
Always.
Okay. They seem nice.
They are. They invited me to their knitting group,
Oh.
and they're just full of wonderful news and tales.
Okay.
That I believe, yes.
I understand now. I was
Then-
wondering why you were making friends with old ladies and older gentlemen. But it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And
Do you have something wrong with the old?
No, it just seemed weird to me that a young 18-year-old would be mingling willingly.
Don't judge his tastes.
On to the
Properly
magistrate.
chastises. He shuts up.
One should
Onward?
respect your elders. You have much to learn from them.
Admire them even, right?
Yeah.
And on to the
Bask in their
magistrates.
beauty and wisdom.
That being said, y'all make it to the magistrates.
Moving on.
You are again sitting in the waiting room. The sun that hits the top, remember I told you it was like pastels
Peaches
of pinks and
and-
peaches. The sun hits it just right, and the tile, which you didn't really notice beforehand because it was dark and there was, periodic lights on the walls. You notice that the stained glass makes a mural on the floor when the sun hits it just right.
That's neat.
Ooh.
And it's a mural of the symbols of major gods, like Timora, Bahamut,
Tempest.
Tempest is
Tempest?
on
Okay,
there.
Joaquin,
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Ilmatar. There's a lot.
Yeah. There it's just when the sun moves, the image moves with it and it kind of makes it look like it's alive and it's rotating.
Ooh,
That's
very
really
cool.
neat.
I
Yeah.
wonder if the gods of evil get annoyed if they get left off these, so you have to add them in just so that they don't break it.
Mhm.
You know,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
it's like Sleeping Beauty, where they angered the fairy by not inviting her.
Mhm.
It's not like she would
Probably.
have showed up. It's that because she
Mhm.
wasn't invited, she decided to crash the party.
You know, that's a good point. I bet there's probably a couple of evil deities on the floor.
You know, a little bit of
Balance.
Yeah.
It's a thing, you know?
Under the seats where nobody can find them.
Exactly.
Oh.
They want to be in darkness.
As you guys are admiring the view, you see Sanjay come around the corner with his heavy footsteps. The High Magistrate will meet with you now.
Thank you.
Follow me. And he leads you not into the High Magistrate's room. You guys were in their office, but this time he leads you into what looks to be kind of a small meeting room off to the side. Please wait here while High Magistrate Liamis finishes the last meeting.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And he bows and promptly walks out.
Mhm.
You only have to wait about 10-15 minutes. It's not that long. And the door opens, and you see High Magistrate Anderson Liamis float in.
Okay.
They are actually sitting in a chair, and the chair is floating.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's like levitating off the ground. And they say,
It's better than a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
and they say, give me a moment. I'm sorry. My chair has been acting up recently.
Oh no.
And they mess around with a few buttons and contraptions on there, and Finally, it starts moving again. There we go. Thank you for meeting with me today. Can you give me any more information that you have learned so I can corroborate it with what we have learned so we can send it back with you?
And I think that in that intermediate time while we were waiting, that Wesley may have told Izzy and Celestine what we had told them last night, and that you guys had more experience with the actual action, so that you would have maybe more things to add.
Yep, I think we can add things like just a quick overview of the event so they have an idea of how organized it was.
Okay.
The names, the dragon, the name of the dragon.
The information we learned from interrogating a couple of the cultists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lenathan. That dang dragon who left.
Something about dragon eggs.
The champion who showed
The
up.
champion, yes. The claw of...
There was that dragon claw who killed Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
We killed him, though,
We did kill him,
Yep.
yes.
thoroughly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We got our vengeance against him.
It
The people of
seems
Greenest did.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a kill by the people.
Yes.
Oh dear. It seems that you guys had a much worse time than the others. The others just seemed to be ransacked. But you actually had a dragon?
Unfortunately, yes. I believe it was a younger dragon. Is that...
It attacked the keep and shot lightning at it.
adult blue dragon.
It was no... Okay, never
just
mind.
barely an
It
adult.
just,
Oh, that's
it
right.
just sounded like it was young, but it
It's
was
an
adult.
18-year-old dragon.
Okay, I couldn't remember where the line was. Okay, so yeah, never mind. was
It
a
just
dragon.
became an adult, like Wesley.
Ta-da!
I am so sorry. We did not know it was from the cult. But after we spoke last night, I contacted some of the leaders in other cities, and they too did not notice any strange movements of any people. However, we have seemed to found a pattern between some of the sites or some of the cities that were hit. They all seem to be on a specific route. We can't figure out what the route is, but they seem to have been in a line of some sort.
Okay.
And we did hear, we don't know how reliable this is, so take this with a grain of salt. We've heard from a few people in the other cities that were attacked that they were looking for something.
Money.
A specific something or like money?
They did get robbed, but it seemed like they were looking for something specific.
Did they lose a dragon egg?
I don't know that we heard of them looking for anything specific, Magistrate.
Then maybe that's just a rumor.
Or they knew it wasn't in Greenest.
Well, there's no reason why our particular town and people would have collected more information than the other. It's entirely possible that they know something we did not.
Perhaps. We also got a report of, well, you had a dragon, but we also had a report of many kobolds and wyverns. Did you also had those as well?
Yes.
We
Yes.
did. There were a number of paradraconic creatures.
We should tell her about the orcs too. They got kicked out.
yes.
Got kicked out, and wyvern riders took over the area.
Oh. And you are friends with this orc tribe? We have not had many successes with the tribes around here. Have you found one that you...
Well, we met them last night. They were pretty
nice.
accommodating and hospitable. They didn't attack us.
Mm-hmm. They helped us.
They helped us a lot
That's...
in more ways than one. And Izzy kind of just stares into the distance.
That's right. Celestine was going to talk to Izzy
I think
later. Okay.
that comment, just like my
Everyone
character's like
stares
looking
at
at
you.
you like with this, huh?
Everyone kind of
Celestine
stares at
helps
you weird.
move it on. Like, but moving on.
That- Yeah, that's not important right now. I'll talk to you later about that.
Wesley, I know that you are a delegate of Greenest,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you probably need to return soon to report. Would you, if we send troops, if I am able to procure another 40 troops and send 100, could we employ you to work with these orcs and figure out why these people are attacking the outskirts of our cities?
I think so, yes. Governor Nightel tasked me with helping to save our village, or our town, our city, whatever it is, thing.
All the above, my dear.
Village, hamlet, hovel,
dear.
collection
More than that.
Clan, tribe.
collection of buildings.
Say all of the things. And I think that would be fulfilling my duty in doing so. What do you know of the cult of the dragon? We have heard of small things, but as a magistrate, surely you have access to more information. What things might be able to help us?
From what I know of the cult of the dragon, I know that they used to raise dragons from the dead, but that has gone away in the last 50 or so years. We haven't really heard any activity of them at all, but I guess they have been doing stuff because they've attacked you guys.
Certainly been doing a lot of recruiting. They had a veritable army.
And for what we've learned from you in the other towns, they are either searching for something specific and maybe gathering gold. I don't know why they would be gathering riches.
Perhaps they need it because they're attempting to perform a spell of some great value. If they raise dragons as undead creatures, as you say, then it could be that they are performing a ritual, say, to become, a greater undead being, and it requires a lot of wealth to purchase the reagents for their spells. I'm not an expert in spellcraft, but
Oh, no.
I have seen that these often require a lot of money.
They could also be covering everything that they have in copper and gold so it shines. It takes a lot to cover things.
Yes. Although why they are doing that would be the question.
I mean, we can't even answer the first with the other idea, so I mean.
If they are trying to resurrect dragons again, that could cause a lot of problems for everyone here. There was quite a while of a reign of terror of multiple Draco Liches scouring these areas, and
Perhaps there is a particular Draco Lich which would be valuable if returned.
I will look into this. Would you will take my offer?
Yes. You would like to consult with the members of my group, but I am amenable to this. These fair companions have seen me here and were kind enough to do so, but have many other of their own desires and quests, so I cannot speak for all of them.
I understand.
My goal in all of this, Magistrate, is the prosecution of fighting the cult. That is my desire in all of this as we go forward. And if I understand, that is the desire of many of the companions here. We are in some ways bonded together by that.
Yep.
Yes, I want to follow this cult and stop them if I can. Rescue my friend, Jaden.
I will spare another 40 troops to Greenest. Unfortunately, that's even more than we normally can because we will be spread thin here. However, we will also pay you to find this information, find out how they're moving these troops.
Dragons. I mean,
Just pile all of them on the back of a
I
dragon.
think we need incontrovertible proof
Probably.
instead of just our theories.
Makes sense.
If you can find how they're moving this, what they were looking for, and what they're planning to do with this, all these fancy items that they have stolen,
Mm-hmm.
we will pay you greatly.
All these fancy items that they've stolen?
Yeah, it seems that they've only grabbed gold and silver and
We really got the drugs over in Greenest. Kitchen
they,
sinks.
we got reports of stealing instruments and some shiny things, but mostly high value items.
We really got drugs in Greenest.
Brass piping.
A couple of magical artifacts from some of the towns were stolen as well, but who knows? Maybe one of those was what they were looking for.
So, internal monologue, Wesley is like, oh yeah, the Fang of Agmar Cree, that might have been the thing that they were looking for, maybe, but he's not really going to be, talking about,
How
such
special
things.
do you think your random magic item is? It's like,
I don't know.
Maybe not,
I don't know.
He thinks it's pretty sticky.
It's special to
I mean, we did
my
learn that it
township.
could doom doom all of Faerun if it, didn't return back to the
Yeah, we
general
gotta
store.
find it.
I don't know about all Faerun, but
Oh, okay.
certainly Greenest and the surrounding.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Only a lesser
Small doom.
apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Small doom. Itty bitty doom.
But important to the people there.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And one last thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, from my understanding, have had cultists who have lived within our town who left the cult many, many years ago. I don't know if they are still involved. However, a few of them have gone missing in the last month or so.
Interesting
now that
timing.
I'm thinking about it.
Perhaps they joined up in the army.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps the army killed them in order to keep its movements quiet.
Uh-huh.
I did compile a list of suspected cult members since you guys told us about this. And we have 4. We have Lady Reynard the Brown,
For her beautiful brown eyes, obviously.
Obviously. Oh, yes.
Sir Colart the Wise. They used to be in our guard. We found out afterwards that they had been part of the cult in their previous employment. We don't know where they are. Lord Terracus and Lord Ferredin.
I was waiting for it.
Lord Ferredin, I was talking to some wonderful members of your beautiful city, and it seems that he may have been involved in some recent scandal involving missing magic items.
Oh, yes. I am going to have to talk to some people about keeping their mouth shut. However, yes, we had been suspecting that Lord Ferredin had been involved in smuggling, particularly magic items. And it looks like that he may or may not have been in contact with the Cult of the Dragon. When he moved here, he was very open about being involved and said that he had left. However, because of all this, we suspect that he might be involved somehow.
The rumors seem to say that he had angered someone, and maybe they had taken out that revenge, and
Well,
that might be the cause of his disappearance as well.
that is definitely a rumor.
Okay.
We don't know why he left. We don't know why he has disappeared, but he has eschewed his duties as a lord, and we have not been able to find him. And now that you mention cult activity, Cult of the Dragon activity, there may be a connection.
That would make sense.
He has been missing for a month. However, again, this is all speculation. I am not saying one way or another. But if you could find out anything about this cult, maybe starting here would be a good place for
Thank
any
you.
of these people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get the orcs to help you, that might help us figure out exactly where this cult is hiding their people.
Do you perhaps have any diplomats you could send to them to open up a negotiation with them if they are, as my friends have said, peaceable and...
The orcs?
Yes, the orcs.
Yes, of course. Happily.
In the meantime, if we are to be upscaling our activities and engagements, is it possible that we could have some manner of supplies from the city?
That can be arranged.
Well, it looks like our task before us is to investigate these former guardsmen, former cultists, who all are, in the city or out of the city, and see what we can learn about it. Also, I would like to spend some time in the library if we can. I suspect that this city has, given the fact that we've just learned that there are, in fact, several Dracoliches in the associated area associated with this cult. I would hope that the library has some extensive records on that. I would like to see if I can find any.
Yes, I will notify that you are coming. Notify them that you are coming, and they will pull those books for you as needed. Is there anything else you would need them to pull?
I think that is all I can think of off the top of my head.
History of the dragon cult and the
Anything
raising of dragons.
That's
the
true.
interest to Celestine.
Yeah.
Anything associated with the dragon cult, the probably, I mean, these seem like necromancers, so possibly anything associated with regional necromancy in general, anything associated with dragons, obviously. Oh, and
They write all this down.
you all needed something mailed, yes? Ah, yes, Kurt's body.
Yes, I'm going to do something with that.
Okay.
You lost a member of your
Many
Party?
people died in Greenest. One of them was a citizen of Elturel, who is a dear friend of Isidore.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. But yes, if we have business that we need to do to help this city and its surrounding towns, then if we can find a way to bring his body back to his family in Elturel, I would greatly appreciate it.
We can arrange that for you as well. It's the least that we can do for you guys going and finding out this information for us. Sanjay, and you're boom, boom. Yes, High Magistrate. Please contact one of the gravediggers. I need their assistance with something. Yes, High Magistrate. And boom, 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 he leaves. He will be back shortly with the gravedigger, and the gravedigger will be able to point you in the direction of who you need to get in contact with.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anything else you would need from us? Oh, I did forget. I will also contact the heads of the temples in the temple area of our city, and if you need any of their helps, they will know who you are, and they will help you immediately.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
I have just one more thing. Do you know of a Dimitri who is related to a General Greer from Greenest?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I do not know a Dimitri Greer. Do you happen to know which area he lives in?
I believe he's in the Rose Lamp district.
I can have somebody find him for you.
If you could, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Of course, and they write that down as well. We will send somebody to fetch him shortly. I assume you will be still staying at the Effervescent Flute.
Yes, it is a wonderful establishment.
We will send him that way then.
Thank you.
Of course.
As we are wrapping up, then, Magistrate, I'm going to pull out my packet and I say, this is from Governor Nighthill. I believe it contains a tally and a record of the damages as far as could be understood, and the situation in Greenest, according to Governor Nighthill's report.
You see the High Magistrate shoulders just like it's like a big heavy weight off their shoulders, Oh, thank you. He's a good governor. He knows exactly what we need to know, exactly we need to set. Thank you so much. And tell him thank you when you arrive, Mr. Wesley. And we will get this prepared as soon as possible. Hopefully within the next 2 days, we'll be able to send out our troops with all the necessary supplies. If there's nothing else, then I will let you on your way.
Thank you for your time, Magistrate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would also like to be able to send a message back with the troops back to my family.
Oh,
and
of course.
Associated, to let them know that I made it and am well, and my continuing mission in your service.
That's totally fine. Just bring it here, and Sanjay will get it to where it needs to go.
Thank you.
All right. Meeting adjourned.
Yep.
You guys leave the City Hall area, and as you are walking back to the Effervescent Flute, Celestine, someone runs into you pretty hard.
Okay.
And you're like, watch it, and then walks away.
They
Can I check
bounced
my-
off.
I know. Well, they definitely bounced off. There was a
Poink.
Yeah, there was a ching as they hit my armor or my chainmail.
Mhm.
It was probably a little harder than they thought. Trying to think if I have anything on my person that, do I have my gold on me still? My gold pouch?
Go ahead and do a quick investigation check.
Is Celestine one of those people who, with all your voluminous robes, just keeps the gold purse actually attached to the combat gear underneath it, so it's physically impossible to get to your gold?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing is gone, but something was added to your purse.
Wait, what?
Something was added to your purse. You feel
Scarab
a
of
small
murdering.
piece of parchment.
Well,
Parchment with
I'll figure out later if
glyph of-
Celestine has to paw through her robes to get to the pouch. No, I'm kidding. She pulls it out. What does it say?
It says, Celestine, please come to the chapter house. Someone is here to see you. It's urgent. They're hurt.
Your order is very sneaky.
And that's where we'll end our session.
Yeah.
What is
Yay.
happening? Okay then.
Ninja
I'm
clerics.
concerned.
Very, very good.
I
on
am
the-
Celestine. It's alright. Celestine's not ninja.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Powerword Crit. Stay tuned for more adventure on powerwordcrit.com or your favorite podcast streaming site. As we end this episode, please enjoy this PS.
Gentle guests of the old Magpie Inn, listen well. I shall now perform for you an ancient song from the East. It is a song of legend, full of myth and the heavens, a song of the sorrows of mortality, and the eternal rewards to come. There are no bananas in the sky, there are no bananas in the sky, there's the sun and the moon and the coconut cream pie, but there's no bananas in the sky.
May Lathander bless their souls, because...
Going a little southern
I'm
there.
sorry. May Lathander...
You went further.
Lathander is such a southern name. Okay.
Um,
so
Probably
easy to...
why that paladin in the Curse of Strahd
Became, yeah.
Yeah.
she was very southern.
Lathander. They took everything of value from the city.
And something's not of value.
when you give your kobold servants broad instructions,
Take things valuable.
They got the idiot kobolds.
servants.
Let's
Low-quality
steal this
servants.
sink. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Sorry, I'm not there.